news, and it all has to do with ruining our society, ruining our culture, destroying the family. I'm not going to give you anything that's not utterly public. And the headline is Pope Francis invites religious political leaders to sign global pact for new humanism. Did you hear that, beloved? A new humanism. It's not a better humanism. It really is a new humanism, not the one that God gave. It is an attempt to simply control the population of the world. It will be destructive, it will be immoral, and that's what it attempts to do. Pope Francis has announced he is hosting an initiative for a global pact to create a new humanism. The global event to take place at the Vatican on May 14th, 2020, that's next year, is themed Reinventing the Global Educational Alliance. Can you imagine? In the scriptures, St. Paul says, what alliance has Christ with Belial, which is the devil? And now we're doing it. Now it's planned for the church, headed by the Pope, to do it, so as to, quote, hand on to younger generations a united and fraternal common home. And I'll tell you, beloved, it is the common home of the devil. There is no common home we have but heaven. The Pope says, listen, a global educational pact is needed to educate us in universal solidarity and a new humanism. Beloved, that is what the communists set out to do. The evil has entered into the church, and it has been bought by the very Pope himself in the hierarchy. Christ was never mentioned in this article. There's nothing of Christianity in this at all. Nothing. Beloved, this is against God. This is demonic. This is not to protect the family at all. You'll see later on, weaving relationship with families. Pope Francis asserted the need to create an educational village in which, quote, all people, according to their respective roles, share this task of forming a network of open human relationship, an educational village which will once and for all destroy the family and the human race. I don't believe that was an omission on his part. It is a plan to eliminate parents, to educate the children. Some of these words sound very nice, and the demon, the angel described, appears as an angel of light. If this succeeds, beloved, we're going to have that alliance forever in hell, not in heaven. Will wipe out Christianity. This is demonic.
Beloved, I'm sure we all know we are living, not even in the last days. It seems like we are living in the few minutes before the clock strikes midnight for the Lord to show up, show off, show out. This is a Catholic nun who is reading this. You know, when the Bible talks about a great falling away, many times we only attribute that to Christians walking away from their faith. I think that's a double-edged sword, or there's a two-sided way to look at that scripture. Yes, the great falling away is attributed and should be attributed to Christians falling away from their faith, losing their first love, and their love for their first love begin to wax and grow cold. That's one interpretation, understanding of that scripture from my perspective, and you don't have to agree with me, and I'm okay with that too. So we're not going to start a religious war over differences of ideas. Hello. But I think another way to understand that scripture, it looks like there's going to be a great falling away from the Catholic Church or the Catholic cult into true Christianity. I mean, true remnant disciples of Christ. That's what it sounds like, because this nun is reading this. That means she's a true follower of Christ. She just found herself in Catholicism. That's how come sometimes we can't even write off the entire Catholic Church and say they're all going to go to hell. Because we really don't know that people may be in there, maybe they were born there. For whatever reason, they're there. But that doesn't mean they're all going to go to hell. They probably truly know Christ, love Christ. Their eyes just have not been really open to 100% come out. So we cannot 100% write the Catholic religion or denomination, completely off. Look what this Catholic nun is saying. She's literally exposing the very Pope that some of us Christians say that he ain't real. And I believe he is. He's not real. So I think a part of that great falling away of that scripture, my understanding, you got to agree with me, is there's going to be a great falling away also from the Catholic Church or the Catholic cult. And I'm so glad to hear this message coming from the lips of a Catholic nun So, and it's good that other nuns and other die-hard Catholic people will listen to her and let this message that she's saying convict them and open their eyes. The Pope is interested in starting a new humanism. That's what that means. They want to create, if they haven't already done so, in my mind, I believe they have already created a new kind of human species. They're just waiting for the right time to show it off to the world. It's not something that's coming. They have been working upon it for years. We're probably just hearing about it now. And I believe, and I think Prophet Sadhu have also said it, that the Lord told him that this current Pope is the false prophet that is spoken about in the book of Revelation. So if that prophecy and that revelation from Sadhu is true, that means he is just setting the stage for the end time battle and the end time showdown. He's just setting the stage and preparing the way for the Antichrist to show up for the final showdown between the kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light. I'm going to let you continue to listen to her message. Very powerful, very insightful, very informative. And it's time for everybody to open their eyes. Catholic or not, it's time for people to open their eyes and develop a relationship with God one-on-one, so you're not deceived. Hold on.
This is demonic. As I'm reading it, it's demonic. It's deceptive. In his message, the Pope said that in order to reach these global objectives, as an educating village, we must, quote, have the courage to place the human person at the center. Isn't that what is wrong with our world today? Instead of placing Christ at the center, we place man at the center.